men today are unsure if they are men or boys, and men often will ask themselves, what has to happen before I actually become a man, or what has to happen before I actually feel like a man? By the end of this video, you will know where you stand. I am going to go over the 4 stages of becoming a man. The first stage of becoming a man is the Squire Stage. This stage lasts from birth right up until 13 or 14 years old. This word comes from the Middle Ages, where the squire would assist the knight. During this stage, the boy dreams of adventure. They dream of becoming a big, powerful knight one day, and how they will change and save the world. They are very naive, and they think they can do everything. Oftentimes, they lack respect and self-discipline, and they require guidance. And oftentimes, when they cannot do something, they will get very frustrated and upset with themselves. A lot of growth happens during this early stage. The squire is always trying out different things in order to see what he is good at. Near the end of this stage, they will begin to take on knight-like qualities like loyalty, persistence, truth, and honor. The second stage is the knight stage. Most of you watching this video are in the knight stage, and it's one of the most crucial points in your life. This stage lasts from puberty right up until your late 20s. This is the time of your life where you usually seek challenge, adventure, and fun. I like to think of this stage as the burning, fiery stage of a man's life, where you have this deep desire within you to go out and conquer in all aspects of life. But this can also be a very difficult time in a man's life, because this is the time where you will have to choose between what your parents want you to do and what you want to do. And on top of this, you are probably very unsure of what you want to do as a career, and you're probably very unsure about your life in general. But these feelings are completely normal, and you should not be worried about feeling like this. In fact, it's exactly what you should be feeling. It's important to live in the moment without a lot of responsibilities. And I'm personally in the knight stage as well. The next stage is the prince stage. This is a very interesting part of a man's life. As princes, men are focused on building, establishing, and creating in the world. If you want to start a business, this is usually when it happens. This is where you have a clearly defined purpose in your life. Some of you may be thinking, I don't know my purpose or what I want to do, and I don't know if I ever will. A massive difference between the knight stage and the prince stage is that the prince possesses a valuable trait called patience. A knight is not patient. He is running wild, wanting everything to happen to him right away. Whether it is business, success with women, you need to have patience and trust the process. But a trait that is equally as important as patience is faith. You need to have faith that you will get to where you want to go as long as you take the right steps along the way. A prince is not overly concerned with the outcome, but he is very concerned with the process, and he is constantly course correcting and improving the way he does things. A prince will build his kingdom, and during this time, he will probably find a queen to stand beside him, although this can happen at any point in a man's life. The final stage is the king stage. The king is calm, relaxed, reflective, and more importantly, he possesses wisdom. You cannot really change a king. A king has strong beliefs. He knows who he is and what types of people he wants to surround himself with. A king has built his kingdom, from his business life to his family life. He does not waste his time worrying about small things that don't really matter, because he is focused on the bigger picture of running his kingdom. If someone is around him who he does not resonate with, he will kick him or her out of his kingdom. This is also the part of a man's life where he wants to give back to the world. There is no right or wrong stage to be in. I know I mentioned ages when I went through the stages, but those are just general guidelines. If you are 30 years old and you still feel like you are in the early knighthood stage, this is okay. Everyone's journey is subjective. Do not judge yourself. Reflect on your life and take action to get where you want to go.
Oh man, it's powerful right there. What's going on, y'all?
What up, y'all?
Welcome to another episode of the Epiphany Media Podcast. That's a very long video. Blame Byron for that.
Best damn podcast in the land. You forgot to say that.
Oh, for sure. Oh, you know, what's understood ain't got to be said. Big dog.
Hey, it was a long video, but it was just so informational. But
Definitely a lot of information going on. Hey, we got two Byrons in the building. That's what's up, man.
that's young. That's young Byron right there.
So, uh, as you guys might have gathered from the video, we want to, and I guess the title of this episode, the male dynamic, is we want to talk about the male dynamic. So oftentimes we talk about, the male perspective on like relationship stuff and marriage, women. You know what I'm saying? In general, we talk a lot about dates and the black perspective on racism or racist issues, all type of stuff. But very rarely do we talk about. It sound weird when I say this, like male on male interactions.
Pause.
So, male on male interactions, as far as whether it's like friendships or something specifically that we kind of want to talk about today, is like the father-son dynamic of like just being a man or growing up from crossing over from being like a teenager to a man, or whatever your steps are going in.
Yeah, that transition is a big transition because if you just think about how your mind thought when you was like, well, how your mind worked when you were 14, and then 21, and then now 33, it's totally different train of thought. Because I sit back and wonder, like, why was I on this, or why I was on that, but you just gotta advance.
So let me ask you this. So based off the video, and you probably watched it more than I mean, I don't know. I had to edit it, so I might have watched it a couple more times than you by now. But so what do you feel like you fall at on that scale, on that list that he picked? So you got Squire, you got knighthood, prince, and king.
King. And I'll tell you why. Just at the point in my life where I'm very selective about who's around me. Very selective about everything, what I eat. I have goals set in place. I know what I want to do. So that's why I say that. That's
a good reason. Nothing. That's why I figured I would ask you. I guess because I don't know, like everybody's interpretation of it could be, could be different, right? So it could be, based solely off the fact that, you got your place, you got your wife. So based off the steps that the examples, the steps he was given, you could very well fall in that king category, or, you might be like, I don't exactly know my course, or I don't know how I'm gonna get there, or whatever. Or I'm still like putting the fillers out in certain aspects, like nothing you got to share, but that you might still feel like you're in the prince stage or whatever. But definitely kings. That's where you at.
Yeah, for sure. Not because it's the king stage, but not because it's the king stage, but my whole train of thought. Not because the name is king, a king, the king stage, but it's just where I'm at, where I am. It's like in the video he said, if you feel like you're still in that knighthood stage, and you're in your 30s, don't worry.
Right.
And I can understand that because it's it's a lot of men who haven't excelled in their careers, or just now blooming late. They don't have kids. They don't have a serious relationship. So you know what I mean. The knighthood stage is cool, but eventually you're gonna roll into that that king stage, and that's perfectly fine. But if you're still in that squire stage and you're 30, then that's the problem.
You in your 30s, you still a squire. Yeah, you might want to switch out some moves. Yeah, man, I can agree with that for sure. And I would probably say the same thing based off of and this ain't bragging or whatever, but I feel like I've been in my king stage for like a while now. Now, don't get me wrong, shit ain't always added up how I wanted to add up. You know what I'm saying? For various reasons and various situations that shit I can't do nothing about or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But as far as mentally, like having a goal, whether it's business wise or personal wise, like I feel like I've been in that. I don't know. You know what? Let me take that back. I feel like I was in that stage, and then I got out of that stage, and I went back. You know what I'm saying? Like I was walking the line a little bit, I guess. But the king stage for a while now, even still, I think is where I put myself at too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's like I said, it's always subjective. You know what I'm saying, to each individual person,
Yeah.
on how they feel about their situation and where they're at mentally, financially. You know what I'm saying? Everything. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of all depends. So, so that part is pretty dope. Just knowing or having a thought about where you are, at your place in life. And like I said,
Yeah.
with different upbringings and different parental situations, you might be in that knighthood for a long time,
Right.
through no fault of your own.
Right. There's no problem with being in a knighthood stage and slaying everything. You know, it's a part of the knighthood stage.
Right.
But eventually, you get out of that. I don't know. I wonder. I'm trying to think. Like, was it something that like clicked in my mind, or was it just the brain growing? You know what I'm saying? Because your brain don't fully develop until a while. You know what I'm saying? And it's most definitely true when they say that women's brains, grow faster than the male brain. So, like, I'm just trying to figure out like when did it click? Because it just clicked, and next thing you know, you're a king. You don't even know. I don't know.
Probably with Pimp C line. That's funny. So yeah, so I mean, so in the comments, Chanel said, "I don't know what I would do without my dad. This is dope." And Angel said to her, "It's good that you realize this. Some people don't know, realize, or acknowledge until they lose a parent." So, so I don't want to get Byron in no trouble. You know what I'm saying with this subject. It won't happen.
You're always trying to get me
It won't. It won't.
some type of trouble.
It won't happen. This week, but it'll be like in a couple of weeks. Like, oh, I seen your show. So, like, I mean, I'm just kind of how you think about like when did it switch for you? I'm just kind of think of I guess kind of like the transition, man. Like how did it even if you don't know when it happened for you, like how did the transition go? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like between you and your dad, like, oh, just say this, like, was it smooth? Was it smoother? Did you think was it smoother than you thought it was gonna be? Was it rougher than you thought it was gonna be? Was it gonna be?
Like what you mean the transition?
Well, just
when did I feel it was happening?
yeah, man. Because I remember like some stuff happened. Yeah, not nothing like crazy, like some heat between you and your dad, like right before you like moved out and all that stuff. Like they was getting into it like all the time or whatever, and then like you made the decision like I got to get out of here or whatever happened. Maybe he made the decision for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I remember like it was like right before y'all had a couple issues and then like change got to be made.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, let me see. I was like 22, 23, something like that, and we was getting into it, because at that you 22, 23, you don't feel like a kid no more, even though basically you are, you know what I'm saying, but you just don't feel like it.
Right.
So we was getting into it, and he said I had to, what he said? He said I got a month to move out.
Damn.
And like, cool. So I remember I was working like something crazy, at least 12 hours a day, to get that money for that, so I can move out. And I think I asked for an extension. I'm like, I need a little bit more time, and I'll be able to move out. So I moved everything by myself, no help. But you helped me with the heavy stuff, like the heavy ass desk, dressers, and all that type of stuff. But yeah, it was that transition. But still, even though I moved out on my own, it still wasn't easy because now you got to pay. Now you got to pay rent, which is a new. If you ain't never paid rent before, that's a new situation.
It's your new dad.
Yeah,
it's a new dad.
Yeah, it's probably your first big responsibility is paying rent on your own. Right. And once you first move out on your own, you don't want to pay rent. Like you want to kick it.
Yes, of course. Like,
you know what I'm
saying? You're free.
They gave me like 3 months until I, pay my first, rent, something like that. The girl at the leasing office told me to pay it early. Just pay it early so you could be ahead. Of course I did. I'm like, I'm I'm living by myself. I'm going on days tricking, buying stuff for myself, Rent came around, all that stopped. Like, no food in the refrigerator, nothing.
In the house then, yeah.
Just starving.
So I remember, by the way, he's talking about this place that's behind me.
Right.
I put it up. Let's talk about that Studio One.
Right.
So yeah, man. I mean, and there's a lot of different ways we can kind of take this conversation or whatever. As far as like just the dynamic, man. So I'll give you guys some backstory of kind of what stemmed us talking about this. So I had an interaction with this guy, my dad. He ain't even really like an OG to me. Like he just, like a friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been around forever, but he ain't like my OG or whatever. But anyway, we got like a ridiculous interaction. You know what I'm saying? Where I don't know if he was trying to sun me or what. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't like a grown man or something. And so we all like, it's like 8 or 9 of us in like a group chat, and he started like get fly like the group chat or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, y'all old niggas is crazy. Like y'all old niggas is crazy. Y'all think y'all can just be out here talking to people like this and that just so that went further, of course, but that just kind of stemmed it. Like, at what point do old people be like? I would say old people, but dads or not even necessarily dad, but a positive, not even a positive, just a male figure in your life when they be like, all right, that's a grown man, like that's a man, and like not a kid I can talk to any type of way. So just looking at the dynamic, I guess, of even if you're older, you're still a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you're younger, you don't want to be treated as a kid. You want to be treated as a man. All right. So, like, just I keep saying the dynamic because that's the only way I know how to describe it. But like what are they like? I don't know, like, cause I never try to like do that to like somebody that was younger than me or older than me, for that matter. But like, I just don't know the thinking, or it's like two bulls like just butting heads, and neither one of them want to back down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, like it's a relationship between males. Like, it's always weird to me.
Yeah. See. Me personally, I like to hang out more so with women. Like, you know what I'm saying? And growing up, I didn't know why, and then I figured out as I got older, like I hate niggas.
Yes.
Or lack of a better word, I hate other men. You know what I'm saying? Because other men will come around and they want to put that bravado, act like they tough for no reason around other guys.
Yeah.
And then that make it make you not like that person instantly because they like, why is you trying to talk tough? I'm just chilling here, relaxing. But when you're around women, it's done that,
Right.
Just chilling, having a good time, stress free. You know what I'm saying? But other dick, like.
So Angel said it's testosterone, which it is.
Yeah.
But I feel like when it's an older to younger thing, I feel like old guys just try to. I'm just gonna keep. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep saying old guys because I don't mean it that way, but just older people. Like I feel like they try to like, I still got it. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta prove that I still got it. When in my experience, especially with me specifically, like I'll just be chilling. Like I'll just be chilling all the way around. So for you to say something crazy to me, where and then look, it got so serious to the point where like people outside of group, like people had to message me outside of group chat, like, what's going, like y'all really like beefing right now? Like, I'm not beefing with no nigga that's 40. Like what? Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not beefing with no nigga that's 40. You know what I'm saying? So like the older guys just feel like, man, I just gotta prove that I still got it in front of other guys, which is
crazy. But like but when somebody come to you like that, you just be chilling. And it's like, are they trying to, test me? Now you trying to see what? Now you trying to test my temperature. You trying to see where it's at, and you just trying to chill. Now you got to turn up on them. Now we beefing. Now it's an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Now if it's not extinguished, then the fire can turn up real quick because I am a man as well, and I do have testosterone or even ego, as Angel says. She said sometimes it's ego, and and not every person got an ego as far as this is my position in life, and I want to be respected in this position, all that stuff, which is completely understandable. Right or wrong, it is what it is. But
that pride is even worse.
Oof. Pride is the worst. So Erica said, some people's present demand respect. Who?
Right.
What do you mean by that? I'm curious.
Right.
I don't mean like
it takes respect to give respect. That's been used for centuries, and it's true.
And I get it. I'm not saying that when you go to your dad's house or something, that you don't respect them. You know what I'm saying? Or give them a certain level of respect just because.
But that's been earned through the years, right?
Right. Exactly. So,
but for real, I'm sorry to cut you off, but like as a man, you really only for real, by growing up, there's only two people you scared of, and that's your father, and that's and if you're religious, that's God. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But then once you come to your own, you really not scared of your father no more because you feel like you can handle that situation. But you respect your father, so it's just respect. Whatever they say, you just got to take it. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But another man that's not your father, that you don't have any respect for, that's just out here. Like it's different. It's way different. Like I don't respect you because you're talking to me crazy. It's only one person that could talk to me crazy. I feel like anybody else, then we have an issue. So serious issue.
So Erica said, I'm gonna send this to you first. She said, so you haven't met a person that you just automatically respect?
No, never. Like I'm serious. Like once you meet somebody, you be cordial or whatever, and see how they are, and then it's like, okay, they cool. And then it's be like, man, they on some bullshit. Like
Yeah, I don't know, Erica, and I don't know what the proper term would be. I look, I definitely don't disrespect anybody that I first meet, right? And I don't know if it's tolerance. You want to say tolerance, and so you learn a person, or like he said, learn to see if they're on bullshit or not. But like respect, it really is earned. So you might go into it with like zero expectations, and you definitely don't disrespect nobody. But as far as like just full on respecting somebody or saying like, oh, this person garners this level of respect just because I don't know. I can't say I have like a stranger. I can't say I have.
Yeah.
Like if it's somebody that let's say even like a sports figure, somebody that you never actually met, but like you respect, what they do on the court or whatever their skill level is. There's still a level of respect that was earned throughout, the years of watching them on TV, or watching interviews, or watching whatever it is that they do well. So maybe respect is not the the proper thing. Maybe not the best word to use, I guess. But I definitely don't go into any situation disrespecting anybody.
Yeah,
Everybody start at zero, and then you build from there.
exactly. So, like for example, Erica, when I met you, I didn't know you, but then you came to me and uh, as a friendly person. So I'm like, okay, she cool. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but it's been other people that they come and you try to be friendly, but then they acting like a asshole or acting like they're better than you. Now you going negative on the respect scale, and it's hard to get it back. You know what I'm saying? It's some people that came back. It's like, okay, like your personality is like outlandish, but you really, really cool person. Okay, but then there's some people that just they can never get past that.
And I think that goes for, I don't care if it's a manager at your job. Like, yeah, you can have respect for the position, or let's say Donald Trump in the White House. You can have respect for the position that he holds without respecting Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever is in that position at the time. You can have respect for the position of manager, the position of general manager, the position of president, or whatever the title is. But that don't necessarily translate for me. Now, I'm only speaking for me to that person specifically, I think. Angel said, I automatically respect my elders until they lose it. Yeah, okay. I can kind of see that. Like just any like older population, like you have like something I do, which I don't really know why I do it, but I've always done is like when I'm passing, like I don't go to funerals, but when I pass like a funeral procession or something, I always like turn my music down. Like I don't know why, I always turn the music down. Like so I guess that is kind of out of respect for a stranger or the situation or whatever. Like I don't know. So maybe respect is not the right.
Oh,
the proper
yeah. It's like, okay, you go into it with respect for people. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to step on no toes, but it's those people that you meet that try to push your buttons or something because they want to. I don't know, push. They feel like I don't know what it is with people. Honestly, I don't know.
So let me see. So let's play a video. Let's play a video of what happened when you disrespect an elder, though. Hold on, wait. I don't know if it played right. Did it play right on your side? Did it play right on your side, B?
No, it was freezing up. The audio was cool. It was just freezing up.
Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can redo it. That's a great video.
Legendary hands.
Look, I queued it up so perfect. I'm kind of upset that they ain't go the right way. Hold on. But no, so Angel said, she said even all my veteran coworkers, the janitor even.
Yeah. Because it's like you taught to respect, the person at top, all the way at the top, all the way down, to the janitor. But everybody's not taught that, so they think, oh, your rank. This ain't the army. You know what I'm saying? Your rank doesn't do anything around here in the real world. So some people just try to minimize you because of your position, which is like off top would not make me like you very much and have little respect for you.
Yeah, I agree. Like I don't know why. Like I said, maybe respect is just not the right term, because and Andrew, you do got a great point of of I guess having a level of respect for like seniors and stuff like that. Like, so you wouldn't, you know, I said like I don't know, like you wouldn't have the same potentially you wouldn't have the same interaction with like an older person that you would like somebody your age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I would assume. You know,
yeah,
like
for
just
sure.
certain stuff, just certain stuff. So if somebody, I don't know, you wouldn't take I don't know, a parking spot from an old person the same way you would with somebody your age. Like they could walk. You know what I'm saying? They'll be all right.
True, true. Like, when it comes to people my age, you know, I do the or younger. I do the Kanye to him. It's like what? It's like what can you tell me? Like what have you done? You know what I'm saying? But when an older person talks to me and try to give me game, give me insight on things, then I listen a little bit differently because they've been through a lot of stuff before, and a lot of their stuff, a lot of stuff that has been told to me has come into fruition. So when a younger person tells me, it's like, man, I've been in your spot already. Like I know what you're doing right now. You on some bullshit. So so what can you tell me? But also, I forgot what I was gonna say for that second part. It was right. It was something about what you said, but I can't even remember right
Um, well, I don't definitely know what you're gonna say either, but I think I might got it up there. Let me see if there's a play real quick. It might not play because I did it on the fly. Let's see though. So that was pretty much it. We was just trying to. The setup was better than the execution, um, but yeah, just don't disrespect your elders. And that's what happens when you go into it with a level of disrespect, opposed to just respecting somebody that's still in the gym or like whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's potentially what you could set yourself up for.
now. Like dude had all the muscle, all the cardio in the world, all the youth.
All of you.
But the skill and knowledge prevailed, man. He was cutting the ring off on him.
Oh man, tagging him,
Hit him with
tag him again, like
hitting angles on him. Oh man,
yeah,
it was all bad.
So let me see. So Angel said a little while ago. She said, "How old were you when you felt like a man? Was it something that happened, or you just woke up one day and did not identify as a kid anymore?" So I know you said that you were
experiences for me.
Yeah, like having a hard time, like pinpointing the moment. But yeah, I agree with you. I feel like, like I said, our backgrounds is different because, like my dad died when I was young, and then I had a stepdad for I don't know, like 6 years or 7 years or something. Then it was like me and my mom. So I still have my grandfather, my godfather, they didn't live with me. It wasn't like an everyday thing, but like when I becoming a man, I always tell the story about like the change of the guard when or like discipline and all that stuff. I always tell that story because it was like mentally, that's when it clicked for me mentally. You know what I'm saying? At 12. Well, this is it. That's the end of that. You know what I'm saying? But once it became like just me and my mom, and I knew that like, I am the man of the house. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better term. Now, as far as protecting her, as far as nigga, I remember I remember like she had like a old, remember that old purple Chrysler van she had, that Chrysler old, it was old, I don't know.
Was that the one we went to the Cavs game in one time?
Probably, I know it was the one. I know you remember her being in court, the Judge O'Brien or whatever, or Matthews, whatever one. It was whichever one she was she was in court about that car or whatever. Anyway, it was like some old Chrysler van, a Plymouth van or something, and like she got broke down. Like we stayed on Noble at the time. That's neither here nor there. But anyway, I had to push that car. Me at like fifth. I wasn't even in high school yet, so I had to be like 13 or younger. Like I had to push that van from off of Noble to like one of the Nilla whatever street we lived on. But like, I had to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember having my mom out here pushing a van. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we were broke. Like we ain't had no AAA coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, we wasn't no man in the house coming except for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to push the van and all of the stuff. So that's kind of when it clicked for me. It was like when it was just me and her, and I had to be the man of the house per se. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That was my like. Well, I don't really have a choice because by then, she's working, so I'm at home all day by myself. I'm living in East Cleveland, but I'm going to Cleveland High School, so I'm catching a bus by myself. I'm getting up, what I'm saying, 5 in the morning to go to football practice, like all this stuff, by myself or whatever. So that's when it was like, well, it's just me and her, like, and she's a woman and I'm a man, and this is how it is. This is just how it is. That's how it was for me. Angel said, when you're young, you just think you know it all, and you're not as open to taking advice from older people. But once you learn that you're not always right, hopefully you stay open and continue to keep learning. Yeah, I agree with that. But it still works both ways. Like, so even if you are an older person and you got, this world of experience and stuff, it's still all about having respect for me as a man. Like, you can't just walk up and like, oh, you definitely don't know what you're talking about because you're young. You know what I'm saying? Kind of how you were saying earlier, like inherently, you probably right, by saying you ain't lived the life I lived or I got, 20 years on you, but your life wasn't exactly how mine was. So you don't know, what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what I know or whatever. So, so ultimately, Angel, I agree with you. And it's always good to stay open to information, no matter where it's coming from. Because I mean, now getting older, you see people like people younger than us playing sports or whatever, and like it's just crazy when you think like, oh man, Francisco Lindor, 25 years old or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you just think about like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's 5 to 7 years or younger.
Mm-hmm. Or when they say, LeBron it's amazing that he's doing this at this age. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It is.
So like, hey, for you, when you look at like, nigga, we the same age or something, like you look like, nigga, I don't understand. I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So Andrew, you're right. You should stay open, but it's still all about I don't know if it's the approach or whatever, like, but you still have to you still can't just talk to me any kind of way because you're older. I just seen tons of video of like nurses and stuff when they dealing with like older people and older people going ham. Like I don't know how y'all do that job. First of all, shout out to nurses that can do that job, but
too long of hours for me. I can't do that.
Man, them old people be getting mad disrespectful. And you got to sit there and make they drinks or medicine or whatever you got to do. But man, I'll be shit.
It'd be one of the people, the family members come in, they on the floor.
Yeah, family. Yeah, push that old person down, man. Like nigga spit in my face. Like, sorry. Sorry, the respect didn't work both ways. My mom said 10 years. I don't know what that's about. Yes, she was. I'm assuming I made the man in the house part, 1995. I don't know what you're talking about in these individual comments. It's cool though, I guess. So I'm trying to I gotta work on my transition game. So I'm trying not to get you in trouble. So
Say it.
Try to wait. I'm sure it's a good way of saying this without nobody being offended. All right, so you're on your way out. You know what I'm saying? So your dad. So wait, so you say you asked for an extension or whatever, right before you moved out?
Yeah.
Did they give you the extension or no?
Yeah.
All right, so you got the extension. Like, so how was it when you moved your stuff out? Like, was it like I always say your dad was taunting you. I don't mean like that, but like, was it like I know you say you moved it all yourself, so he definitely wasn't helping you. But was it like a? And I know your dad, so it's kind of funny. But like, what was his? What was his? I guess kind of reaction to you actually moving out, or he wasn't there, or he didn't care, or what?
I don't remember if he was there or not, but he didn't care.
He didn't care.
Like moving out, but then but you know how moms are. Oh, it's gonna be all right. I don't know. Moving to East Cleveland. I don't know.
That's funny. I'm sure you told me that story before. My mom gave me a month notice too. You gotta get out of here. I just came back from that Paul Mooney show. We just came back from the comedy show, and she left a note on my bed like, "You gotta go."
Are you on the Paul Mooney shows?
Yeah, right. You going to hang out? I can't. You going to the? You ain't even 21. You going to 21-year-old club? You gotta get out of here.
Oh man. It's like, you know, I tried moving my mattress and ended up flying, you know, down Van Aiken. Some random stranger helped me. He put it on top of his truck or something, and you know, helped me.
I remember that.
To the crib.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I remember that now. So I don't know. Well, my transition skills are bad, is what I'm telling you. I was trying to pull up this.
But you know, wait. But you know, I remember, you know, he came, seen the spot or whatever. But I mean, that's it. I mean, now I'm on my own. Now, like I said earlier, you know, was behind on rent. I mean, not behind on rent, but you know, I had 3 months to pay my first, you know, my first rent payment. Didn't waited till it came. Now it's hurting me. Then I ended up losing my main job at that time and couldn't pay rent. So I was just it was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. That was wild times because I was living there rent free.
I mean, yeah.
And,
Look, what's funny is we was like kind of neighbors or whatever, and I'm like, damn, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know they. I didn't know you could just not pay them and they wouldn't do nothing. I thought you ain't pay them, they was gonna come knock on your door or something.
No, first of all, I changed. I got the lock rekeyed, so they couldn't get in anyway, and you know, so I didn't have to worry about them coming in anyway. And then you know, they leave them letters saying you got to pay, but I'm like, I don't got it. Like rent, I'm making less than what rent, you know.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't pay if I wanted to. So let me see. I'm trying to see how many months. It was like 6 months of me not paying, and then I got a letter from a lawyer talking about you got to come to court. And this is after 6 months. So once they sent that, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's for real now. You know, so
I mean, you really gotta make some moves.
Yeah, so I was like, damn, like, you know, my parents about to win. Well, my father about to win. I'm probably gonna have to move back in, but it ain't happen like that. I ain't never going back.
Man, so do you think that was an ego thing too? It's like I just can't go back, because that's what it was for me. When like I said, like my first apartment, man, I like those days, like you said, and there wasn't no food in the house. You know what I'm saying? It got to the point where like, I just wasn't paying my gas bill. I wasn't cooking. There wasn't no food in the house. Like, I had I had to pay my gas bill just for like the cooking gas or whatever. I'm like, I'm not cooking nothing. I'm like so it shouldn't be no bill. And, you know, I was still sending the bill. I just wasn't paying. Like, I'm not cooking anything. No food in here. But then those times where you do you pay your rent, you pay your lights. Yeah, I would sometimes pay my internet bill or whatever, and I watch clothes, like, and then I remember like coming up, like coming upstairs, like watching clothes, and just like feeling accomplished, like, man, I made it another month. Like, I don't know how I did it. Somehow I made it another month in here. Now I can't wait to go to work tomorrow so I can eat. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's just how it was. So for me, like, I remember my grandmother, like, man, like, if you need help, nigga, come. Like, you need to eat, call us. Like, we'll man, like that, the pride or whatever, it just wouldn't let me do it because of, I don't know. I just felt like I had to do it. I don't know. Maybe it was the way that me and my mom, ended that relationship or whatever. But it was like, I'm out here and I can't go back.
But in going through all that, it made you into a king, because it made you go out. What's up, Tula? It made you go out and want to, get a better job, get more money so you can eat. You know what I'm saying? Like and then doing that, now you're a king. Now you can, come to your mother and she looking at you like, a proud mother. You know what I mean?
So I know we're talking about the male versus male dynamic, but that would be my, the male versus female, or like my mom or whatever. But because of the situation that we found ourselves in, as far as it was just me and her, and the struggles we went through with, whether it was like evictions or I think we moved so many times, like a 2-year span, like it was ridiculous. Like, so even like, so I don't know if maybe it was just that, like maybe that preparedness of, being the king of that castle just prepared me for it to be the king of my castle. So, you ever got one of these speeches though?
Question? The hell you got to ask me, Mr. Stewiggy, the one you got the questions for.
How come you ain't never liked me?
Like you? Who the hell said I got to like you? What law is there say I got to like you? Want to stand up in front of my face and ask a damn fool-ass question like that? Talking about liking somebody. Come here, boy, when I talk to you. Straighten up, goddammit. I asked you a question. What law is there say I got to like you?
None.
All right, then. Don't you eat every day? Answer me when I talk to you. Don't you eat every day?
Yeah.
Nigga, as long as you in my house, you put a sir on the end of it when you talk to me.
Yes, sir.
You eat every day.
Yes, sir.
Got a roof over your head.
Yes, sir.
Got clothes on your back.
Yes, sir.
Why you think that is?
Because of you?
Hell, I know it's because of me. But why do you think that is?
Because you like me?
Like you. I go out of here every morning. I bust my butt putting up with them crackers every day because I like you. You're about the biggest fool I ever saw. It's my job. It's my responsibility. A man is supposed to take care of his family. You live in my house, fill your belly with my food, put your behind on my bed because you're my son. Not because I like you, because it's my duty to take care of you. I owe a responsibility to you. Now, let's get this straight right here and now before I go along any further. I ain't got to like you. Mr. Rand don't give me my money come payday because he like me. He give it to me because he owe me. Now, I don't give you everything I got to give you. I give you your life. Me and your mama worked that out between us, and liking your black ass wasn't part of the bargain. Now, don't you go through life worrying about whether somebody like you or not. You best be making sure they're doing right by you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Then get the hell out of my face.
Hey, so I had to put a comment up myself. Nigga. The GOAT, the greatest. Hey, Denzel, shout out to the GOAT, man. That's like an odd. Look, I never watched that whole movie. I never watched the movie, right? I've seen that scene so many times. I seen the who did the stage play?
James Earl Jones.
James Earl. I see that version a bunch of times. Because it came out with Hidden Figures and Fences about the same time. People kept calling it Hidden Fences or whatever. I was like, man, I don't know what movie y'all talking about or whatever. So I ended up not seeing neither one of them because I was confused. Denzel is the GOAT. Dapper is the GOAT.
Yes, he is. Like I got like once the movie dropped, I got a phone call. Like, yeah. I was like, yeah, did you watch Fences? I'm like, yeah. That reminds you of your father, don't it? Yeah, that was my mother who had called me. Like so you didn't watch the whole movie. Like he was going in like that the whole movie. The whole movie.
Nigga, I know for a fact that's Bart though. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not even kidding. Nigga. I know for a fact that's Bart. Oh my god, that's
like he'll say to me, you know, what you be telling the man about me? I'm like,
I seen it.
Like he been around, like he forgot, like he been around for like 20 years.
I seen it, man. Is that what he asked you? What you was telling? I seen it.
He been around for 20 years. Like, what you mean?
Yo, that's hilarious, man. Like that is that's your dad, man. I haven't even seen the whole movie, but I know that part. That's why I asked. Like, you ever got a speech like something similar? Like I can see your dad saying something like that to you. Like,
yeah, very similar. That's why I got that phone call.
My mom said, "What's the name of this movie?" That's it's called Fences. With Denzel Washington, but it's also a stage play with James Earl Jones. A lot of people like the James Earl Jones version better. I mean, it's the same dialogue, whatever, but the Denzel is
both classic. Like James L. Jones, it was like he got that voice. So just imagine him saying that with it, that strong voice he got. So they both very good. So watch one of them.
So Erica said, this is a great question. How can you be in your opinion? How can you get a man to be a man? Is that something they have to realize on their own?
I say yes, because like dude could be with you and have 3 kids by you and just still can't get right. Even though he got responsibility, still can't get right.
Yeah, I think kind of like the intro video. Like I don't think it's like a certain age and you become a man. It's kind of and like I said before, sometimes I have a hard time saying that it's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes your upbringing don't give you the tools to be like a man. You know what I'm saying? Or to be a good dad or to be a good husband. And sometimes your upbringing just don't give you those tools. I mean, like you can't
That is.
like you can't experience everything in one life. So if whatever it is that you did in your life, chances are you're gonna be missing something from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's kind of something that they have to learn on their own, and hopefully they attach themselves to if they play sports and maybe a coach, or you happen to work a job with it's the old guy to kind of give you some kind of a guidance. But like when you flip that switch though, that's all on you.
Yeah, see, I was fortunate enough, to have a father, who taught me a whole bunch of stuff. And then on top of that, I have, elders in the church that told me stuff too. So, I was very fortunate with that. But like you said, it's especially being a black male, it's a lot of black males who didn't grow a father. So, they're missing a lot and have to learn it on their own. But some things you should be able to get on your own. Some things
I mean, you got eyes, like so some stuff you should be like, okay, well, that probably don't work that way, or like whatever the case is. And Erica goes on to say, she said, no, I've seen people come from 2-parent homes and just can't get it together. No, I agree, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so let's say in this 2-parent home, the person that you're talking about, let's say they didn't have, let's say they didn't have any responsibility. It was in a 2-parent home. The parents took care of everything, so they didn't have to mentally think of how they would take care of stuff if they were on their own or they had a family, because their parents took care of everything. So you're in a 2-parent home, and yet you handcuffed by your like your environment, to the point where you can't like mentally you can't even picture of how you would do it, because you never have anything to think about it. Your parents did it all for you. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you. Um, just because you come from a 2-parent home, you still can be missing something. So I wasn't saying
Yeah,
that. I was
yeah,
saying
for sure.
whatever your situation is something that you could be missing. So, for example, like me, something I miss is like that I kind of got later. I'm still not great at it. Is like empathy. Not empathy. I can do empathy well, but like sympathy. I'm not really good at sympathy. Like, so when I do stuff, like sometimes it come off as harsh or whatever, because I knew like I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom used to cry because we couldn't. She couldn't afford stuff. So like I couldn't break down in tears too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to be the straight man, and like, all right, we're gonna get through it. This is a plan. Here's some places, or like whatever the case is. Like, so I don't have that soft spot like some people from a 2-parent house would, or some people from a 2-parent house won't. Like, it's just you will miss something because you can't live all the lives in your one life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. So you can't. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I don't like. Yeah, everybody's life is different, but
There are some things though that you should be able to pick up just as a person with eyes.
look, all
I
right.
pick up certain stuff.
But check this out: if if you see another male, that's your friend, and you see, they missing something, and you should be able to like tell them like, look, but like I said earlier, we're the same age, so they may or may not listen. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, but then that's when they just got to learn on their own. You know what I'm saying? And then but then I'm very sure they think back to like, damn.
He did say that though. Oh, trust, for a long time I was batting 1,000 on advice. You know what I'm saying? Batting 1,000. As soon as they have, I'm like, hey, like my one dude, look, before we was even like friends for real, when we would just be talking at the job, and I was like, you need a new family. Your family ain't shit. Like, your family, you got the worst family I've ever heard of in my life. You need a new family. Like an entirely new family. I don't know how you do it. You need a new family, my nigga. Like, you need a new family, man. And now, I don't mess with so and so. Yeah, like I've been telling you this for 10 years now. You need a new family, like, because your family ain't doing the stuff that family's supposed to do.
Yeah, my one friend, like, she had a boyfriend that was abusive towards her. I'm like, look, you need to get you somebody else, because this ain't right. So of course she said, what I know, this and that. So this new guy came in the picture, but she was still messing with the old dude. I'm like, look, this dude seemed cool. He got his stuff together. It seemed like he really liked to be with him. There's still resistance. Now she engaged, everything's good. And then that's when I hit her, like, so you see, I wasn't trying to be mean to you when I said, that your boyfriend is a bum. Like, you see what I was saying? I wasn't trying to be mean,
You got a couple of those in your life. No, I just said, I think it's from their environment, whether and be people they've seen or even movie, or whether it be people that they've seen, or I'm sorry, people that they see or even movies or something. I don't know. I've seen boys be spoiled so much that once they well of age, they don't know how to even make a doctor's appointment. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so they never, right? So you spoiled or sheltered to the point where like you never have to do any of the thinking on your own, and that severely handicaps you when your parent die, or when you have to move out on your own, or whatever the case is. Like even that's coming from a 2-parent home.
Yeah, like I was struggling with making an appointment.
That's yeah. Erica said, sorry, the thing messed up. She said, my younger siblings are spoiled. Angel said it's common. Chanel said, there is a difference between a father and a good father. I'd rather have no dad than a bad one. Ooh. You agree with, not saying you got a bad dad, but you agree with that? You rather have a bad, no dad than a bad one?
I don't know about that.
Like just having like a figurehead there, even though they a terrible figurehead.
But but I can teach you. That could help you recognize what a good figurehead is. Because if you don't see that, then you might run into that later in life when you try to pick a husband.
That's interesting, right? Because you could say like you could look at a bad figurehead, a bad dad, and say, I don't want to be that, or I don't want that. I don't want to pick a husband like that. Like it could give you an example of what you don't want or don't want to do or become. I don't know. That's I mean that's your opinion or thought or whatever. I think mostly I would agree with you, but like I don't know. I think I agree with you, but having a bad one in the house could have its perks. Could have its perks, I guess, of showing you what you do, what you may or may not want.
Yeah, but still, you still might suffer PTSD from it. So it's like,
that's another story. That's what we're gonna close with. So I don't even want to touch on that. But you absolutely right though. Angel said, even people who have shitty parents, if they have a brain, they can see how they do not want to be exactly. So even their parents aren't guiding them, maybe it comes down to their own brain and intelligence. Exactly. So that's exactly what I'm saying. So even though it's a bad person in there, you can be like, oh, mentally, I'm marking this off the list. I can't marry a guy like this, or I don't want to be a guy that does these things. So it could possibly help you long term, even though, like Byron said, like that trauma, that trauma, it never goes away. Erica said, I was a little spoiled. I'm not going to lie. But I have a strong work ethic. My brothers be bouncing from job to job. One of them almost 30 and has a kid. I can't speak on it. I can't speak on it. She said, how can I help him? So I guess we got to speak on it. Look,
I mean, the bounce from job to job don't concern me as long as they keep a job.
Right, as long as you keeping a job and taking care of your kid or whatever, Erica. But I think, look, I don't know him, I don't know his personality and all this stuff. So, as a sister, it's up to you to know how better to reach him than some random dude on the internet. But for me, if I was messing up or something, I would want my friend or sister or whoever to come, don't put me on blast on the internet. Come have a conversation with me. I'm like, hey, I just want to talk to you about X, Y, Z. I see you doing this, give them some positive reinforcement. I see you trying to do this, but you really putting yourself at a weird situation for blah, blah, blah. Like for me, come have a conversation with me instead of trying to argue with me in group chat. You got a problem, come, you got my phone number. Give me a call.
Right.
Andrew says, curious at what we say. You got some advice for her?
No, like I said, if you always keeping a job, then that's fine because you'll work at a job and you're like, this is bull crap. I'm cold. I ain't trying to work here no more. That's cool. Let me get another job. But if he on some, you know what? I don't like this job and quit when he know he got, a mouth to feed, and his kid, then it's like, what type of, BS are you on? So, but maybe he almost 30. He like we talked about earlier, he might be in that night. I mean, it was a knighthood stage, right?
Yeah.
Knighthood stage. Yeah, he's still in that.
So it's like he might be a 30-year-old squire, man. For all we know.
So he probably don't know what he's destined to be. Like finding out what you want to do with your life is hardest because when you're in high school, you got people. Oh, I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna be a teacher. I'm gonna be a therapist. Check out during the course of Ebony J. It's a great show. But people don't know what they want to be. So that's a hard thing to do. So in the meantime, you just living life.
So my only thing where I differ from you though is he had a kid now, so you got to make a decision now. You got a kid and you're 30. Like now's not the time to be indecisive. You got to think, all right, this is what I'm good at, or I'm not good at this, or I don't have a passion for this, but I'm good at doing it. I got to do it because I got a kid. Like your
Right.
life, you had a kid. Yeah, your life is effectively over as far as you know, being a knight. Like you gotta quickly become a prince. Like you
Yeah.
gotta figure out to become a prince because your life is bigger than you now.
Yeah, but I mean, but as someone who would be trained in high school that you have to go to college to make it, you know, that's all you're thinking at first, especially when you know, early 20s, mid 20s, you like, you know, what do I want to be in that field? But what they don't tell you is you can make, you know, just as much money, even more, doing the trade. You know, learning the trade, doing the trade well, then owning your own company, and then sending other people out to do these jobs. And you could make way more money than one of these college degree jobs. So, I mean, maybe Erica, you could come at them like that. Like, look, I see, you know, you don't really like school, but you know, how about you be a electrician or a plumber, HVAC, you know, something.
But you got it right. I think the bottom line is you got to start committing to something. You can't just still be out here when you got a kid. You got to, whatever it is, whatever your passion is, you got to commit to it. Whether it's, like you say, going to, what's the, like doing an apprenticeship or whatever you got to do to get going. Like, but you got to get going. When you're 30, when you got a kid, when you get younger, and you got a kid, you gotta get it going.
Yeah.
Angel said to Erica, sometimes as women we think we can help or it's our duty, but maybe you just think, I'm sorry, but maybe you just do you and let him witness. He can make choices to change his life if he wants. I don't know if that works so well for guys. Seeing their sister, and sometimes it do. I don't want to speak for everybody. Like sometimes it can like inspire them, or maybe the guy that you pick might inspire him to do better because he see how well you're being treated as a sister, or how well your kids being get you know, his niece or nephew is getting treated, all that stuff. So that could help, but I don't know, Erica. It's really up to you as far as what you think the best approach to him is. But whatever you decide, make sure you back it with some positive reinforcement so he's not thinking that you're just trying to just shit on him. You know what I'm saying? Give it some positive reinforcement. Say, all right, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
It ain't working. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you should try this. You know, but I see what you're doing though. And then just kind of go from there.
Yeah, don't talk to him like the older sister, or, you know, the annoying older sister. You know?
Right. She said, Angel said, so I guess what I'm saying is inspire him to want to do better. Erica said, he lives with me. So yeah, yeah, I would definitely put a bug in his ear then and like, hey, I get it. I see what your plan is, but it ain't really working out. You got to get this thing going. Whatever it is that you choose to do, but you got to get it going.
Especially if he lives with you, and it's like he feel like he can quit a job anytime he wants.
Right, and you just said that you know your younger siblings are spoiled, and he's living with you. And I'm not saying to kick him out or nothing like that because I don't know all the situation, but having that safety net of I can quit a job and get another job because I got a safety net. That's also not cool. Angel said to Erica, living with you could give you the opportunity to require more from him, such as making him pay so much, even if it's just to save it, give it back to him when he moves out. Yeah, it gives you opportunity. But I mean, you got a life to live and stuff yourself, so you try to help out as many people as you can, the situations as you can. But at the end of the day, he has to want to be a man or want to do better, want to do better for his kid, for himself. You know what I'm saying? Want to not depend on his older sister or any safety net for that matter. So, so bringing the full circle to what you initially asked is, yeah, it kind of is up to the guy. Like it's up to him to make the decision. Like, hey, I want to stand on my own 2 feet, and I want to do this. As an older sister, it is not up to you. But what you should want to do, which of course, I mean, the reason you ask the question is you want to see them do better and all of that good stuff. So it's you know, push them when you can, encourage them when you can, and try to get the best out of them, when you can. Erica said, I think he's starting to change though. He's been keeping the job. Yeah, and look, it ain't gonna happen overnight. Like no matter how much you want it to, it's not gonna happen overnight. Like it's gonna be a slow build to him realizing, and then once you do realize, like that still takes time to do the research to get to the point where you want to be. It's a lot of steps to it, but starting to put in like the parameters to get them like, hey, you might want to head north. I say you're going a little west. You might want to head a little north.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the way that you want to go. Let me see. Erica said, thanks for sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Just trying to do what we can do and help where we can. Chanel said, you can broaden that to all men. I'm not in the mental state to make a grown man wants to be a man, family, friends, or relationship. Yeah, it's not your responsibility. As a sibling, that's not your responsibility either. As a girlfriend or a wife or you would think as a friend, I guess, but like those are not your responsibilities at all. So if you're not in the right mental state, that's not, what I'm saying, that's not it's not a rule. You know what I'm saying? Well, you gotta encourage certain things, like not at all. Angel said, I think it's hard being a man. I mean, just a lot of expectations. Absolutely. If you take nothing else from this show, not just this show, from all of our shows, it's tough man to do. Did you got something you want to say about this?
I think I did. Yeah, I did. But yeah, you can't make a woman can't make a man be a man as far as in a relationship. No, like he's gonna have to grow up on his own. But sometimes it's like, they just not on it, and there's nothing you can do about that.
And there's nothing you can do about it. So therefore, like you get into that situation, I don't care if you're a man talking to a woman, or a woman talking to a dude, like where you get in that situation, you see that this person don't want to have like a prosperous future, then just exit. Like you can't force no person to do anything. So when you get in that situation, you see that they're unwilling to change, then like, what are you hanging around for? It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man, we got one more video, and it's another clip of Black excellence is what I'm gonna call it. Then we're gonna get out of here. We'll talk about a little bit of trauma potentially, kind of what Chanel said earlier, as far as having a bad dad, whether having no dad, and all that good stuff. So let's see what we come out with.
Daddy-o! What's up?
Will, I'm glad you're here. Some business came up I got to handle. So we're going to have to put our trip on hold. You understand?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Just for a couple of weeks.
I understand.
Yeah. Maybe a little longer.
Yeah, whatever.
Look, I'll call you next week and we'll iron out the details. Okay?
Yeah.
It was great seeing you, son.
You too, Lou.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Will.
You know what? Actually, this works out better for me. The Slimmies of summer come to class wearing next to nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Will, it's all right to be angry.
Hey, why should I be mad? I'm saying, at least he said goodbye this time. I just wish I hadn't wasted my money buying this stupid present.
I'm sorry. If there was something that I
Hey,
could
you know
do-
what? You ain't got to do nothing, Uncle Phil. Hey, ain't like I'm still 5 years old, Ain't like I'm gonna be sitting up every night asking my mom, when's Daddy coming home, Who needs him? Hey, he wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first basket, but I learned, didn't I? Hey, I got pretty damn good at it too, didn't I,
Yeah,
Uncle Phil?
you did.
Got through my first date without him? right? I learned how to drive. I learned how to shave. I learned how to fight without him. I had 14 great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him! I ain't need him then, and I don't need him now.
Will.
Now, you know what, Uncle Phil? I'm gonna get through college without him. I'm gonna get a great job without him. I'm gonna marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm gonna have me a whole bunch of kids. I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was. And I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids. How come he don't want me, man?
Now that's fucking acting.
Now that's hey, look, that's funny. Hey, that's funny. We didn't talk about that, but that's fucking acting. Yeah, that's how you know we both looked at the behind the scenes. Like, what do you say when he first got? Now that's fucking acting. Hey, that's acting. That's the only. I wouldn't say the only scene, but there ain't too much scenes that guys can cry at, and that's one of them. You could have had a dad your entire life, man. You watch that scene, you like, the hell with him. The hell with him. That's funny that we both thinking the same thing. That's pretty good.
Rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Man. So Chanel said during that, first she said, yes, that's a good example. She said he never needed him. He just traumatized him. Yes, made him a better man, but at what cost? So that's what we're saying. So, or that's what I'm saying at least. So he was in his life, then he left. Like that put it in his mind, like, this is what a bad dad is. I don't want to be that. You know what I'm saying? But so let's say his dad was never around. Like, he left before he was born. He never even knew. Then he wouldn't have an example of like, oh, I should probably be more sensitive, or I should probably eat X, Y, Z. Like, but the fact that he had him in his life somewhat to know what a bad dad is, now he's like, I'll never be that dude. You know, I'll never. He can't. I don't need him because he didn't teach me how to. He can't teach me how to love my kids and all this stuff. And I know that because he didn't love me. You know what I'm saying? So look, but he said all of that stuff, and at the end of the day, he still wanted to be loved by his dad. Like, he still wanted to be accepted by his dad, even after saying, you know, the whole speech about how I don't need him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A very true, scene, It's like, it's like I said earlier, like when Chanel posed that question, it's like, yeah, I mean, you're running around and know what not
to do.
What not to do, when you get in that position. So yeah.
So I mean, Andrew, you don't like Will Smith? He said, "Look at Will, better than most of his movies. That's a great scene, but better than most of his movies."
I don't know about that now.
Hey, Will Smith, Angel.
That was the beginning. Of He's gonna be a good actor right there.
He ain't had no acting classes. Like, they were talking about how long they had to do that scene so many times because he just couldn't get it right. He ain't had no acting classes.
Hey, they said that. I remember when James Avery, he was like, he was talking about a scene like Will Smith had to kiss a man or something. Some movie, like it was like one of the first movies he did or something. Like before Independence Day, he said like, you didn't commit to the kiss.
Yeah. Well, like James Avery and like some of these Hollywood people, like they're like Shakespearean, like, you know what I'm saying, Juilliard actresses and actors, like, they have been taught and groomed to commit to whatever the role is, commit to it, like put your heart into it. Well, it smells like, I'm a rapper from Philadelphia, and I'm not an actor, like, you know what I'm saying, but they say they did the same, but they say when they finally got it right, though, that's what me and Byron both like, now that's fucking acting. Like, that's fucking acting right there.
That's what we talked about earlier, that respect. Like, that respect got to be earned. and it was earned.
Earned it, man. He earned it. So just real quick before we get out of here and stuff. So what do you think about? I mean, we kind of talked about trauma-wise, I guess. I'm assuming neither one of us had that type of experience happen in our lives where, nigga left and came back and left again. But like mentally, what do you think that does to like a guy like coming up? So not just, how you going to be as a parent, all, the whole speech that he made, but just like as a person, like growing up, like with that type of a childhood issue going on.
Once he has kids, he's gonna take that responsibility seriously, because that's all that he ever wanted. So having that experience, as you could tell, it hurt him. You know what I'm saying? But it made him stronger at the same time. Because
so do you think that could be an example potentially, and not just you? I'm asking everybody in the audience too. Do y'all think that is or could be an example of? I don't want to say good trauma, but let's for lack of a better term, they call it good trauma. Like he's traumatized to the point where he'll never fall into those same tropes as his dad did. He'll never treat his kids the way that his dad did. Is that an example? Do you think that's an example of good trauma?
Good trauma.
It's a terrible term. Trauma. The word trauma means horrible things, but or maybe trauma the wrong word, but like just because clearly that traumatizes you as a son, as a person, as a human being to feel rejected by one of two only people that's supposed to actually be there to train you and to teach you stuff.
Yeah.
To be rejected consistently.
Yeah.
Clearly that's trauma, but good things could come of it. Like, so do you feel like it's a such thing as good trauma, I guess?
I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, I believe at that point in the show, he was in college. So, he could take it a little bit better. But let's say if he was like, 5 years old, like I watched the show All American, and that was a thing with the father, and he came back, but the older brother was trying to protect him because he didn't want him to experience what he felt when his father left for the first time.
Right.
But then he learned, like you need to be with your father, and then the father ended up passing, sad. But it was like, I mean, yeah, he might leave again, and hurt, but at the same time, like you might need that kick, to catapult you into your path to a king. So
Okay. I think that's a good. I think that's a good reason. Andrew said, "Good or bad trauma is a good question for Ebony J." I will pose it to her. Erica said, "Yes." She said, "Things happen for a reason. It's what eventually shapes you." I agree wholeheartedly. Erica said, "We all go through things that changes us and molds us." Yeah, I agree with that too. I used to have a saying that, would I wish to have my dad, longer than 5 years old? Of course. Or have Mo not have his situation, of course. Like, but because all that stuff happened, like I am who I am today, and as long as I can like look in the mirror or the camera, or whatever, and be happy, you know what I'm saying, or okay, I guess with what I see in my reflection, then all the stuff that happened shaped me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's a one-off conversation I had with somebody, and they said something that stays with me or whatever. We was talking about one of our earlier shows, like something that something that somebody said, and it just stays with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all of that stuff just molds you slowly into being the person that you are, and hopefully, when you look in the mirror, you happy with that person. Chanel said, "Who says you need to live it firsthand to understand the effects it may have on you?" Nobody. I don't think we're saying that, but experiences in life shapes you more or gives you a better perspective of things that when you're watching from a distance or whatever, it just can't do. Like there's no substitute for playing, in the NBA championship or whatever, playing in a game 7. There's no substitute for it. You have to experience that level of pressure, the crowd, or whatever the case is. Some stuff there is no substitution for. You can be told about it all the time, like, man, you should have seen it. The crowd was crazy. My heart was beating fast. Like, but until you experience it, it just gives you a different perspective. I'm not saying it doesn't count, but it gives you a different perspective. And the fact that I just said that, just a quick story. So when the Cavs made it to the finals the first time, the year we lost it,
2015.
Yeah, and Kyrie Irving was like, he was talking to LeBron, or he was talking to the media. He was like, LeBron was telling us like how it is in the finals. He was like, but I still was no way I was prepared for like the emotion that you feel dealing with it firsthand. Like you just can't. Some stuff you just can't replicate by words. Some stuff have to be. You have to experience it. You can look at like, man, skydiving is fun, but until you experience it, some stuff, not everything, but some stuff has to be firsthand. But we're not saying that that's the only way to go, for sure. There's more than one way to skin a cat and all that, all the sayings, more than one way to eat an elephant or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But some stuff you just can't substitute. You just can't.
And that goes with damn near everything. Damn near everything. You can't judge somebody until you, what they say, you can't judge nobody until you walk in their shoes.
Right.
So, hey, you gotta experience different things. Now, it's trauma, it still is trauma at the end of the day. But
it is trauma. No, it is trauma. Andrew said it sounded like a familiar conversation we had about racism. I don't quite remember, but if you remind me, maybe we can bring it to the show. Chanel said, it just gets me that I have seen both a good man and a no good man, and it was not worth it to me. Yeah, I guess. All right. I can't argue with that, I guess. Angel Chanel said, you're wise enough from experiences, though, right? Yeah, maybe wisdom comes from it. I don't know. That's a good example of, it not being worth it to you. But sometimes you don't know until you know, right? You know what I'm saying? People can tell you or, whatever, but like until you know, then you don't know.
Yeah.
And she said yes from both. All right, man. Well, I feel like that's a good spot to leave it.
I agree. I agree. It's been a great show. We flipped it up on y'all. This was supposed to be our last week show, but forgot about Valentine's Day. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in once again. Our U.S. listeners, our international listeners, thank y'all for tuning in. But most definitely thank y'all to the top fans. We most definitely appreciate y'all. Go ahead and hit that share button, that subscribe button, that like button. To all our new people, that's first time listening, thank y'all. For checking us out as well. Remember to own your own. Check out our other shows. During the course of FDJ, we got some quality content coming up for y'all next month. So be sure to be tuned in for that.
Politics on Wednesday, even though we might start to transition to something else, just throwing it out there. Watch other shows. We appreciate y'all as always. Salute to the city as always. It was a good topic, man. I appreciate y'all for joining us. And like my man said, next month we got some good stuff for you too. Next week as well, but definitely next month. So y'all take it easy, be safe out there. Wash your hands, wear your mask, all of that good stuff.
Get your shot.
Get your shot. And yeah, man, we'll talk to y'all on Wednesday and next week. And we out of here.